That's right.
Welcome
Calm
very
in.
much. This is Wisdom
Oh,
Seeker
yeah.
Joan,
The
and I'm
starfish is here. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, and I'm happy to introduce my good friend Thayer Hutchinson.
Hi.
So how have you been, Thayer?
I've been good. Got a little rib fracture, uh, but that's all in the mend. And I can't complain. The weather has been beautiful here in Santa Fe. I've been
Wonderful.
painting and walking in the woods and having fun playing with my kitty cat.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Walking in the woods, even with a cracked rib.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Wow.
uh, because there's so many coyotes here, and I don't want to lose my cat. I put him in a harness and we go walking every day. And that's how I cracked the rib because he went up this he ran away, went up this giant ponderosa pine, giant with his harness and leash on and got all tangled up. I mean, it was 70 feet up. So I had to get a ladder and I climbed up and one of my extended walking poles, I was able to get it untangled and then pull his harness off and thinking he could get down by himself, but no, there was like a 15 or 6 foot span where there wasn't anything. So I had to go up the tree 3 times and I cracked the rib traversing the tree. Um, when I was going from one side to another because I was squeezing the tree and I heard this right
Oh
under
my
my
gosh.
chest. Yeah.
70 feet up?
I mean, it was high up. And like, because I used to be a mountain climber. I did a lot of mountain climbing and outdoor stuff. And all my friends are going, "You what?" And I'm going, maybe because I could see the tops when I was up, I could see the tops of all the other trees because the ponderosa pines are huge here. They're
Yeah.
huge. Yeah. So, but to me, it was it was a good problem solving event. And then I grabbed him and I got down right at the bottom of the ladder and I was holding on to him. I should have let him go. And I tripped and he went right like this. So I got up and I had a little puncture wound above my hand, but I had blood gushing out of my head going. I didn't fall down from the tree. It was my cat that did it. And I thought I had a big rip or something. There was so much blood. But luckily, it was just a puncture wound. It was very dramatic.
From every cops and robbers or mystery novel I've read, that's the
Yeah,
only way I know that head wounds bleed just
they
horribly.
just
Horribly.
horribly. Yeah, yeah.
There's
I
Lady
mean,
Silver and Miss
yeah,
Charlotte and Starfish. I understand you had to go to your candle making event, so we'll
good. Yeah.
catch you on the flip flop on the recording. But thank you all for coming. Yeah, that's on. Did you have to be rushed to the emergency room or whatever?
No, I thought I did, but once I got back, I saw it was just a couple of puncture wounds, and it was just uh, the logistics of it, really. But it was interesting, and I guess I won't do it again because it's probably not wise for a 68-year-old woman to be climbing a 70-foot tree.
Yeah. Well, you make me look like a piker. I was out I'm doing fall chores, painting
Yeah,
doing, cleaning out the gutters on the top of a second story roof, a flat roof, and then painting the dormer that was on there. And people were like, no, you have to hire that out. And it's like, no, I wasn't near the edge except when it was
right,
on my hands and
right.
knees. So you put me to
Yeah,
shame.
yeah.
But
You get used to. It never occurs to me to ask help until I've tried it and couldn't do it myself. Then I'll ask for help.
yeah,
Yeah,
there come moments though.
yeah,
Last fall, I was painting the pillars out in front of there's a porch, an old house with porch and
yeah.
it has pillars, but there's sort of like a stone thing and then there's pillars. So I've painted them a lot of times before and you just kind of crawl around on that little stone thing. And I
Right.
thought, if I fell off and it's only, you know, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
That's,
Oh, that unfortunately is my message. I can't turn it off. It's
oh,
my
okay.
messenger thing, and
That's just fine.
yeah, I can't disable it on the computer. Or I haven't figured it out. So excuse me.
That's
It's
quite all right.
you know,
Um,
yeah,
but I just thought if I fell off, there's now nobody
yeah,
here who could call for
yeah,
help or anything. So I thought,
right,
I'm either going to take the time and get the ladder out or have somebody else do it.
do it,
But
yeah.
it's those moments where you're thinking, there's nothing I can do about this now, but I am kind of putting myself at risk.
Well, and that's a good thing because, the older you get, I don't feel like or want to see myself as 68. You want to see yourself as 25. You feel like you're 25 or 30. And
Yeah,
then you realize, oh, that you get the little cracked rib or, things don't work as well as they used to. And so it's good to think ahead because you could really, yeah, no, downhill skiing this year. I have to tell myself to slow down because I go
yeah.
way too fast.
Oh, I would love to go skiing with you
Yeah.
sometime.
That was fun. Fun.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Who's
Well,
got
we were thinking
yeah.
today that um, please put questions in all caps in the chat. And we were thinking that we would try, well, it probably
Okay.
doesn't make any difference because there aren't so many people here right now, but having one person answer one question and then the next, and then like you'll
Yeah.
answer the first one, I'll answer the second one,
But
unless the other person gets something good and then we can
yeah.
chime in. But oh,
And it's
there's
yeah.
Lena Ramirez Singh. Thank you very much.
If there's not enough questions, both of us can answer them.
Yes.
So we're
Eh,
it's just that I need it's just the processing time and the listening time and I just feel a little pressured. That's why we you know. Anyway, so we'll see.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and let's see. And also, if you wanted to have like a general reading from, or to get a message from a spirit guide or angel, if you'd like, it would be helpful to say, could I get a message about my finances or about
Yeah,
my
finance.
relationship or family or job or whatever? If you'd like something more specific, feel free to do that. But we will read things as they come in.
Yeah, and we can also try to get relatives since it's not, a lot of people. We can take the time to get some departed ones in if you want a message from them. Um,
Definitely.
and I'm just going to say something about what's going on in the world right now, which um, I'm sure there's a lot of other YouTube channels that are talking about it. Uh, to It's important every day. Like I get triggered by what's going on in the news. I get angry at this or upset about that or scared about this or you kind of want to put some of these people in their place. Um I get it's very important for us to ground our energy. Um to really ground who we are and our own energy and our own stability and love energy. And when I say love energy, it's just maybe that self love or that feeling of self that we accept and put that acceptance into the earth and into our own because all of this is going to work its way out. It's sort of it has to get everything has to be seen or acknowledged to be healed, and how we heal it is the collective's uh, process. And uh, so, if we keep ourselves healed and grounded and connected to the earth and connected to universal energy, that creates conduits for more of that energy to move through so we can move as a universal energy. I mean, I
Yes.
would love to smack Jim Jordan right in the face, okay? I'm gonna say it out loud. I mean, but, when I'm doing the dishes, I just say, "You know what? Don't move into that." It's not don't move into that energy, but is that energy gonna help me or the earth? So so then I just go outside and I look at the sky, or I just do something that plants me into the now time for me.
Yes,
And so anyway,
that's
that's what I want to
it,
say about that. Yeah.
it's very true. Um,
Yeah.
And the fact that I think that's one of the reasons this whole community and many others like it, spiritual communities have grown up over the past few years so that people will have a place to go for more positivity and the big picture. When I pulled a card for myself today, and I got the one, the angel card that says, I forget which one it is, but it says zoom out and relax.
Yeah.
And when we get the big picture, that these, and I guess it's a 30-year process or something, but it's like a tower moment for humanity to break down the old ways so that new ways, new and better ways can take root. And when you know that that's what's behind it all and can put your energy behind that, it's easier to suffer the slings and arrows of daily life
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. And that your energy becomes a conduit for consistency and love and grounding to move through. Because,
Right.
if we're angry and I get angry. I'm not saying I don't have any of these feelings, but by not getting sucked into the drama, we're creating a space for the good stuff to come in, or for the stability, that if we're stable, we're creating a stable space, so we can move through it without, you know, that much chaos, So I hope that,
Exactly.
yeah, makes sense.
And I've heard too that positive energy multiplies and negative energy supposedly is solo. So
Yeah.
we have a bigger bigger impact than just ourselves. So
Yeah.
with that, let's
Yeah.
hop in and
Yeah.
do take a
Okay.
question from Lena Marrera's Sing. Hello, may I have a reading for the next 4 months in finances and love, please?
Okay. I think we both
Uh,
can do this.
okay.
So we'll
And
just see.
I'm going to read kind of the current energy.
Okay.
I can't guarantee the next 4 months.
I see you very organized, that you're fairly organized in the way you think about your finances and think about the future. And that I'm hearing to think about something twice before you purchase it. Whether you really need it or whether you can get it a little bit later. Um, and I'm somehow getting food, buying and cooking and producing food, and nourishment for the people around you, which to me, food is love. I think it's sort of the way you express love. I'm seeing lots of love. I'm seeing lots of food, lots of nutrition, an abundance of that type of love. So I'll translate that into you opening up your heart, and that love will come in that way. I don't know if it's love with family, or that you might meet somebody through a family gathering with food. Um, but let him pay for dinner. You don't have to be noble and say you're going to pay for everything. Um, I'm getting holiday shopping, that you might be worried about holiday shopping and how to juggle all of that around. Um, you can navigate that well. You're going to have to create a map for yourself and navigate how you're going to do that. So maybe you want to reorganize yourself, and remember that it is in the action of the doing and the being that creates love. It's not necessarily the gift or whatever. But I see a beautiful party with a lot of loving family and people around, and I see a man who's got big, broad shoulders, and dark hair. I mean, I don't know. He could be, but I see somebody paying attention to you and talking to you at a gathering. Um, and again, let him pay for dinner. So, and I think, I don't know. I think you might be a good cook. Um, something about food. So maybe, so that's what I've got to say. So careful with the finances, watch yourself, and you'll be happy. It's kind of like you won't have that credit card hangover after Christmas. Um, but I see you meeting a nice guy with very dark hair.
This is so interesting. Um, when I tuned in, I was getting this image that I didn't quite understand. It was like you were riding on a bird and you had a crown on, and the bird was going up and down, up and down. So I thought, well, finances go up and down. And then I saw that you were on, the bird was really like an animal on a carousel going up and down, but you're kind of trapped in this whole pattern of going up and down within, you have some money and then you don't have as much money, but it's all within this range, but kind of trapped in that same pattern. And so I asked, so how does she get off of this merry-go-round, out of this pattern? And then I saw it wasn't you. And Lena, I don't know what you look like, but I saw a man, and it was actually somebody I knew as a kid or as a teenager. And and he had dark hair. He was wearing a crown, like a king's crown, because he was homecoming queen or king.
Okay.
And I saw him when he was like 18 or whatever, and he was reaching out and getting the brass ring. And I've always heard about that. I've never seen one of those on a real merry-go-round, but and I thought, okay, so he's got the brass ring, he's got something. And then those rings turned into like rings on a playground set, or gymnast rings. And so he'd grab one and then swing to the other and the other. So the pattern was broken and things were moving forward, but it had something to do with this dark-haired man. So I do not counsel making financial plans based on meeting meeting a guy, but somehow that pattern is going to be broken, and you'll be moving forward. And maybe the dark-haired man isn't a love interest. Maybe it's someone, a boss or a coworker or someone in a business sense. But he's, you can think about these symbols yourselves, Lena, of what the purple crown looks like, and why he looked like, I don't know, maybe I'll just say the homecoming king in my
Well,
high school. His name was Bruce. So if
yeah,
you meet a man named Bruce, I hope that makes some sense. But that was kind of an interesting one. You will be breaking out of that pattern, and it might have something to do with the dark-haired man,
yeah,
possibly named
yeah.
Bruce.
So, yeah, I
Wonderful.
think it's through your actions of who you are as a person that shows love, and not necessarily what you purchase. But I don't think that, I see this man as very kingly, big broad shoulders,
Okay.
like a king,
Yeah.
so keep us posted, man. I definitely would buy that purple dress you've been thinking about. There's something purple or some dress that you want to buy. If it makes you feel good about yourself, go out and get it, do a payment plan.
Good advice.
So,
Let us know if
yeah,
any of that made sense for
thanks,
you,
Lena.
Lena.
Yeah,
And next is Miss
that's
Charlotte.
good.
I'd like to know if my guides can tell me how I've changed in the past 10 years. What am I on track for? That's an interesting question.
That's interesting. That dog with the eyes is like, "Meow, meow, meow." It looks like something out of Star Wars. Okay, Miss Charlotte. I'm hearing you don't sweat the small stuff anymore, that you're really good at letting, that in the past 10 years, you've kind of gotten good at letting things go, um, that you might not have before. And that you've gotten good at letting things move through you more than hanging on to them. And that your guides are saying this isn't very natural progression for you and that you're on track. Um, uh, uh, that to be, and the authentic self is a big word that's used in this type of world, but I'm getting the embrace of self to even if you don't know what self is, that and this is just an example, maybe you like the color purple, so you buy a bunch of purple paint and just get into the purple. You might not know the reason for it, but to follow what you're attracted to and what makes you feel, follow that feeling of, oh, like I saw some purple fabric. I just wanted to buy all the fabric because I love the color. And not that I would do that, but that kind of attraction, that kind of hook of something that you love or that attracts your eye, is to move into it a little bit more and not worry about what it means or where this is going for you. Um, and I'm getting a lot of energy in this area, which is really the uh, follow your bliss kind of thing. But even on a practical thing, I mean, this is like eating a whole box of chocolate cookies, okay, which is not always that great, but sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes eating that box of chocolate cookies moves you from one place to the next. And um, so, don't hesitate to, maybe do something unexpected to get you from one place to the next. Like, don't talk yourself out of doing something you wouldn't normally do. And uh, yeah, I don't know if you have a mother or a sister in your family, but I feel like your relationship with them will become stronger. You'll have a very strong relationship with another female in your family. So, yeah, and I hear a little golf clap, and take that risk, get out of your comfort zone a little bit, and they're showing me cheese, so that might be the holidays. I think you're going to have a nice holiday gathering. Um, so you both have a mother and a sister. I feel like something's coming up with them. Um, there's a closeness that's going to be happening, a big closeness with the three of you, that you're going to need to support each other, and that this is that the relationship improves. Not that it's anything wrong with the first relationship, but so that's what I've got. Um, yeah,
Yes, and she said she had both a mother and a sister,
yeah, I have
and
both.
mom just turned 91.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So there's, I feel like that um, those relationships are important for you. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Thank you, Lady Silver, for requesting people to hit the like button
yeah.
and put questions in all caps.
Be
Hi.
brave and try new things. So okay.
And hi, Jessica Lynn. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I was tuning in and I saw you on a tricycle. and you were a little bit too big for the tricycle, and there was stuff people holding on onto you, and so like your knees were coming up to your ears as you were trying to pedal around. It was just, you had to work so hard to move forward, and there were other people hanging on to you, and it was a lot of work. This means your progression from 10 years ago. So first I saw you on the tricycle working really hard and not going really fast, and then it was like the progression of different kinds of bicycles. So then there was the two-wheeler with the, you know, the streamers on the handlebars and the big basket in front, and that, but you know, with the coaster brakes, it's still 1 gear, and that seemed a lot easier. But then you were on the 10 speed with all the gears, and you had the helmet and the Lycra suit and the whole thing. And now, even going up the hills, you have the gears, you have the abilities, you've got the knowledge and ability to, even the hills are easier because now you can use all these different gears. And so that's what they're saying about what you've learned over the past 10 years is you have learned the lessons that have resulted in you being able to take on harder challenges, and they don't seem as hard as they used to because you can draw upon all the knowledge and all the lessons and everything you've learned over the past 10 years. Plus, from pedaling with all those people on your back and on the tricycle that was too small, and with the other bike and all of that, without really knowing it, it physically made you stronger. So it's like you're stronger physically, mentally, emotionally, in every way. So now, even though you're going up these huge hills, there's the downsides too, the good sides, which are not scary anymore. You're in perfect balance because you're really good at this. But I finally saw you getting off the bike and taking off the helmet and going and getting this sense of, phew, I did that. And without really realizing it, just by living your life, you've gotten to be, you know, like a kind of an athlete in life, and you've surprised yourself at how strong you are.
No, and
Go ahead.
that's taking the chance, you know, that's sort of moving through something that you wouldn't normally do. So that, yeah, uh, and that
Oops.
sounds like I'm going to go and buy a Harley. Just,
Yes.
yeah. Wear the helmet though.
Yes. Wear the helmet. And I did get some cards for you. Um, let's see. Out of the angel deck, Archangel Jeremiah saying, pay attention to signs, symbols, and synchronicities, as I'm sure you do. And then I got from the Feathers deck the Oriole, who says, a new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. Oh, and I forgot to show, uh, let's see, who we read before, Ms. Singh, Lena Ramirez Singh. I pulled out a card for you, and it was the hummingbird, who said, release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way, both in probably in love and in finances. So we hope that that makes
Yeah.
sense to both of you.
Yeah. Those are beautiful cards. I love those cards. They are so, so beautiful, the feathers.
Oh, I love those. So you could go out and buy a Harley, maybe. Anyhow, that was fun. All right. Next is Our Lady Silver. What advice does my spirit team have for me as we move into Thanksgiving? Let's see.
I'm hearing have a lot of fun. Uh, you know, I'm hearing that Thanksgiving is going to be a lot of fun, and I don't know what I'm feeling a lot of warmth and love from family and friends. I don't know if and that there's something special about this Thanksgiving. Um, Maybe an elder or somebody might pass by the next Thanksgiving. So to take your time and uh, spend some time with your family and your loved ones um, in a more of a heartfelt, special way, and glean their knowledge and tell them that you love them in the ways that you can't. Express yourself freely and openly in a manner which suits your character. But I'm getting a very heartfelt Thanksgiving, and it was as we move into Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, to recognize the people around you that love you and to honor them for it. That's the message I'm getting for you.
Okay.
Oh,
What
you're the
I
last surviving member. Okay. Oh, okay.
okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I missed the old Thanksgiving with my family. I'm the last surviving member. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Um, there comes a time, and I'm almost there, where we need to make uh, a family of our friends or make our own family. And I'm hoping you have people around you who can help with that to make it a new community that's maybe not biological or but a family of a different kind of like all of us are here, good for each other. um, yeah, let's see, my dad died, oh dear, my dad died the Tuesday after Thanksgiving years ago. Oh, yeah, I can see where that can. Well, anyhow, what I got for you was about honoring the changes of season. And Thayer and I were just talking about this before the show. And there's lots of little ways that you can recognize and honor the change of seasons. Um, some of us who have 4 or more seasons, it's easier to do when you see that the trees change and the weather changes. Not everybody has that. I was saying to Thayer that I was out for a walk before this, and I thought, yep, it's the change of season because during the summertime when I go for a walk, there'll be people who have found lost objects and they just put them out in case somebody remembers, oh, I'm going to come back here because I think I lost my keys there. So you'll see keys, or you'll see a little toddler's shoe or something like that. But in the wintertime, it's always the lost mitten or glove or hat. And I saw my first sole or single glove sitting out on somebody's stoop.
Right.
That was like, okay, yep, we're
Yeah.
changing, we're changing to fall here. And so even just little things like that, as well as the trees, and also honor that in yourself because your own rhythms are going to be changing. I've been busy all summer doing work and stuff around the house, but then once it gets cold, you settle in and you're not outside going and doing as much. And it's kind of like the trees and outside. They one time I used to think that, oh, it's so sad when all the trees, the leaves come down and they're pretty much dead for the winter. But I tuned into one of the trees once and they're like, oh, I'm so exhausted. I can't wait to have a rest. And I think we can think of that as our for ourselves too, to kind of that kind of cozy time of uh, being able to do more things indoors, and whether it's cooking or doing a writing project or an art project, or those things that when it's 80 degrees and sunny and lovely out, you're just not going to sit down and put hours and hours into something. So that, and oh, and as I was walking home in a neighborhood that usually doesn't have them, I saw a flock of 7 turkeys. So that's kind of another sign. I see them twice a year when they kind of walk by and go down. There's a little river valley not too far, a mile or so from here. And then they must walk back in the fall because I saw them again today. So recognize the seasons in your life and what things, and giving thanks and letting go for the things you've been doing and welcoming in the new season. And what did I pull? Oh, and this one says success through action. So that's kind of the opposite of what I was just talking about resting, but maybe maybe there's some actions that you can take that can put you in that peaceful state of mind. Let's see.
Well, and set a place for your family when you're having Thanksgiving. I think they'll all be there. Um,
Yeah, I do
yeah,
that sometimes.
yeah,
And don't get hung up on the, you know, the perfect Thanksgiving that you see in the television commercials. I haven't had one of those in a very long time. Anyhow, thank you for letting us read for
yeah.
you and get to know you a little bit better. Okay, Sherry.
Love and finances.
All right.
Love and money. Everybody wants to know about love and money. You know, Sherry, I see right away that you make a lot of people feel loved around you. You go out of your way to um, make the people feel good and valued around you, even though you might not be feeling that yourself inside of your heart. But that is your nature. So perhaps people or that person that you want to attract doesn't know that your heart needs healing and love too. So don't be afraid to open up a little bit to some of the people around you and allow a little bit of that vulnerability or loneliness to come out, instead of holding it inside, is to process it out so then more love can come in. And you know, this is everybody has these. This is not a unique situation, but I see you as being, you go out of your way to help to love people, and I would love to be your neighbor. I think you would always welcome me in with a cup of coffee. Um, you know, when everybody and he says finance, I just see a very smooth line that nothing's going to go up or down, and to be wise. I see, consistent financial, in terms of the economy and how things are going to go, that they're not going to go get really good or really bad, and to budget and think about what you're going to do during the holiday season, and let people take you out to dinner. I feel, Sherry, you're a giver. And again, it's the receiving which is difficult for us givers. Uh, but yeah, I feel you could let that little piece of energy out, that you're a little lonely, maybe to the right person, and somebody might pick that up and ask you out for a date or ask you out for dinner. Um, yeah. So, but I really see a very even, nice holiday season for people. I mean, we're really starting the holiday season all the way through Christmas. And I'm hearing moderation in terms of spending and spending time with family and friends, and even family and friends that might be in the spirit world, to acknowledge them and tell them how much you love them and miss them and how much you valued them, is a really good way to heal the heart and to appreciate people that are not there, and then to value the people that are there. That this is a much more of a holiday season where the hearts connect and people connect, and to say something that you might not necessarily say, more so out of the material. Um, instead of the gift being glorious, that the gift is the gift, but the connection is where the glory and the connection is. Um, so I hope that helps, Sherry. You've got a big heart. I can just feel it. Yeah.
I hadn't finished reading the question before I heard Al Green's Love and Happiness playing. And Do, 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 do. You got to go listen to it. And this is one of my husband's favorite songs, and it's got the groove, it's got the love groove, and it's a beautiful, beautiful song. But it's a little non-traditional. And somebody was talking to me about it. Listen to the horn part, because there's just a little. It's not way out of line or way different or unusual. It's not like a straight pop song. It's looser than that. And there's a little bit of, it's not, they're like on the 1 and the 3 instead of the 2 and the 4. Syncopation, thank you. That's just enough to make it interesting. The horns there's a little period of syncopation in the horns that just makes the song. And so that's what they're saying. There's love and happiness coming to you, and it's like all oozy and wonderful, but it's just enough non-traditional to make it interesting. So a little bit of an idea of being willing to step outside of, well, I always listen to country or I always listen to pop songs, but to just like open the door to a little something different. As far as, I don't know, what you would consider in a potential mate or whatever. And it just oozes in. Yes, okay, now I get it. And they're talking about me here too. That when you're on your own, it can feel like you have to kind of be very, very protective of yourself and, you know, Google and do background checks on everyone who looks at you sideways in the grocery store, and to just let up on that a little bit, to open the door a little bit, and to be easy with whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm not saying throw yourself at anybody who expresses an interest, but there's a richness in the allowing of trying something that might be outside of the norm of what the pattern of the type of guy that you'd normally be interested in. And then when I asked about the financial part of it, it said it all comes from that love, that flow, and that easiness and that openness. When you open your heart to one thing, you open your life to other things too. And so that's part of the flow. And I drew cards for you, and Archangel Michael came up, who said, step into empowerment. So it's funny when you're talking about, you know, opening your heart to love, that is a form of empowerment too. And the raven came up. The universe is calling you to notice important signs and synchronicities. So you might get some signs about either of those subjects, but that's what I got for you. At any rate, if nothing else, just go and listen to Love and Happiness and dance around the house a little bit.
And Sherry, I'm getting that you have a girlfriend, a female friend, that your relationship can deepen and become a lot richer, and that's really important. The deepening of the intimacy with the people you're around. Yeah. I bet you make really good cookies or something. I just feel like you give a lot to other people.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, here's Purette White and Tiffany. I've
Yeah.
got your question. Thank you so much for being here today. And I'm sorry if I'm not keeping up with the chat. I'm having my cataract surgery in January, and maybe by then I'll be able to read the smaller print.
And I got glass. The best place to get your glasses is Costco. The frames are good. I mean, I got these frames and lenses for $100.
Wow. I've got
So,
a
yeah.
complicated prescription, and unfortunately, they didn't do well. I don't know. I've had good luck there before, and maybe it was the cataracts and not the prescription that caused a problem last time. So, okay, here's Amy. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw this in the chat, and I heard realtor. And I don't, I just heard go with the realtor, that the flipper. You know, that's what I heard is realtor. Um, so I just gonna have to stick with that. Um,
That
unless
makes
unless your house is a total, well, no, I'm gonna I'm gonna stick with realtor. I'm gonna stick with what I got first.
um, I was getting to there. I think there can be something in between, like real estate companies that offer will buy it as a flipper would, but they have more of a bigger program. They'll make you an offer, and you can take it or leave it. But it's not like dealing with the guy who's going to actually flip the house. It's somebody who is an in-between person. And there's pluses and minuses to all of them. Um, why am I tuning in and I'm seeing a native indigenous person with a headdress on it? Why? So this is like old wisdom. What's something about the land? Uh, it's something about the value of the land as well as the building on it to make sure to that enough value is paid to that and not just I think they mean financially, but that this was an image to make me think that there's value in the land. Even like with my house, if I'm going to sell it, oh, there'd be so much. I would love to sell it to a flipper or someone, another company that kind of does that kind of work because there's so much that needs to be done with it. Uh, but not to undervalue your house just because of the value of the land with the building on it, no matter what condition it is. Um,
Well,
one thing would be to, check around with friends or check around on, I don't know, on Facebook or on a different app for people, individuals who have had experiences. See if you can get referrals. You might want to talk to an attorney who deals with real estate, and sometimes they'll give a free consultation about, if you can come in and say, well, this is about the value of the house and the condition of the house. What are the pros and
I
cons of this
mean,
situation?
a lot of it is numbers. You know, if your house is falling apart and it needs, a lot of repair, a lot of it is numbers and what you can get. So in a way, doing your homework is good. But a realtor might be able to get the right person in your house to match the energy of the land. Um, but that's it all depends on the condition of your house and how much people are willing to pay. Uh, but I got realtor right away. So,
Okay.
but that's, it's numbers. It's really numbers. Um, and to get all your numbers in a row, and then I'd make your decision that way.
And it would
Um,
be good to consult somebody on both sides because I do remember hearing about, when these companies came out who
yeah,
gave the offer,
yeah,
it sounds great, but then the realtors say, yeah, but you're not considering this and this and
yeah.
this. We
I
all
got,
know about the realtor's
yeah,
fee and then all the work you have to do to get the house in shape and do
yeah,
showings and all that. But I'm sure both sides have, let
yeah.
them sell their process to you.
You, yeah,
And then, when the flipper says, oh, well, I can make it easy for this and this, and the realtors are going to charge you that, go talk to a realtor and have them answer those challenges for you. And, you'll have two sets of answers saying mine is the best way, but you might get some more information. And that's why I was thinking a third party like a real estate attorney might, or any kind of attorney who understands contracts, because that's basically what we're talking about too.
yeah. And I got,
All the
I got,
hidden stuff.
yeah, I got Hustler when I saw the flipper. I got
Mhm.
Hustler, so if you do go with a flipper, you need to have an attorney or something look at the agreement all the way through.
Yeah.
So that's the realtor, is they have to go by the book. They have to pay attention. So, well, let us know, you know, let us know. Houses are flying off the shelves, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, so you probably get a good price for it no matter what.
Definitely. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Good luck. Yeah.
Next is
Jessica.
Jessica. Just going to make sure I've got everybody else's questions here. Yes. All right. I am getting right away. I tune in and I'm seeing a cloud. I heard rise above it all, rise it above it all, and I'm seeing a cloud. It's coming in from the west coast. It's full of moisture, and it rains on, Seattle or something. But that heaviness and the rain and if you're standing under it, it's no fun. It lightens things up so that it gets rid of all the heaviness so it can rise above it all and go up over the mountains and become a higher type of cloud, a higher type of energy. So you might be if you are going through challenges or a hard time right now, that's part of it. It's to kind of allowing you to get that heaviness out of you so that you can rise above it all and then just kind of float through the next patch and raise your vibration so that you can quietly, easily, without any fuss or storm cloud type of stuff, just float over the next section and remain at a higher vibration. I know that was really general, but I hope that makes some sense to you, my dear.
Well, and that coincides with what I got, is check to see if you're making fear-based decisions. If your decisions are fear-based, double check that, and try to make them in a more of a to be aware of how you're making your decisions. That's the message I got, which is also with Joan, is to think through how and what motivates your decisions. So I hope that helps, Jessica. I feel like you've
Yes.
got some important decisions to make in front of you.
Great
So
message. Things haven't been easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
In the
So
midst of bad
yeah,
hard times, it's sometimes nice to know that there's a purpose for it or preparing you for something.
right. And just check to see if they're fear-based or not. And that's a good way to check your motive. But no, I feel like you will make it through. Whatever's happening, you will make it through. So it's just a life bump that you're going through right now. And
Mm.
you will make it through.
We all know how fun those are.
Yeah, they're not fun. No.
Here's Fatima.
Yeah.
Nice to see you here. Thanks for coming.
Oh, yeah. Blessings back to you too.
And Amy,
Another,
of course, another realtor. Go talk to another realtor.
yeah. Yeah.
Just as much information as you can get.
Yeah. No, I mean, the housing market is so volatile and hot right now that doing your homework is very important to try to get the best price.
Yeah.
I feel like you have the skill to navigate yourself, so you are going to get a good price for this house. I feel like you will.
Wonderful. And here's Tiffany. May I have
Love.
a love energy reading, please? And
Yeah.
thank you in advance. And I love the rainbows. Okay,
Yeah.
Tiffany, Tiffany, Tiffany.
Ooh, Tiffany, you want that love. I know just how you feel when you want loving. You want loving. Um, I'm getting go for a high quality love. What you think you might want is not necessarily good for you, and to put your standards up a little bit higher. I mean, when I want love, I don't think about anything but wanting that love. Um, but to not sell yourself short, and that it's kind of like I'm seeing a very, to look for a man or attract a man that is a little bit classier or higher level than what you're thinking about now. Um, and you might get this guy. There's somebody coming along, but you have to look for them, because you have qualities that are important and that need to be recognized. Um, Sensitivities. You're very sensitive, and it would be nice to have somebody who recognizes those. And we have a tendency to. I do. I used to. I want you, and I was like, well, maybe that wasn't such a good choice. So, yeah, that's my message to you, Tiffany. And boy, you got a lot of pizzazz and a lot of insight and a lot of power for you. And spent a lot of time getting to know who you are, too. That's really important. You define yourself, not the man. You're a powerhouse.
Great.
Yeah.
And oh, are you finished?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm
Okay,
done.
great.
Yeah.
This is so odd. I usually don't get songs, but I got another song, and it was, I don't know songs, but it's Where is the Love? Anyhow, it was a
Yeah. Yeah.
duet. Where is the love? Do 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 do. Anyhow,
Yeah.
and they only sang me just the bars where the woman sings and the man sings. The woman sings and the man sings. And I think probably later on they're singing together. But there's two messages they made me aware of. One is there's this perfect man whose voice is just perfect for you two having a nice duet out there, and he's asking where's the love too. And the other message was it's a someone who is as strong and as whole and as complete in himself as you are in yours. Like neither of you are going to be trying to complete each other. You'll enhance each other or whatever. It's like you don't have a
Yeah. Nice
space in
blend.
yourself. Yeah, it's like two grown-up people who are like, yes, wonderful. And anyhow, he is out there. And when, let's see, what did I write down? Separate but equal. That's right. And that you're stronger together. You're
Yes.
both as strong and as complete and as fabulous as individuals. And both love yourself and recognize how great you are
Yeah.
and what a gift you'll be to someone else too. But you don't want a fixer-upper. You don't want someone who needs constant praise or else he's not whole or whatever, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Right.
You
Yeah.
need an
Yeah.
equal.
Yeah.
And that's the one, that's why I was only hearing that part of the duet. You both have great voices, but then when you come together, it's going to be even better.
Yeah.
And when I pulled cards for you, I got the flicker type of woodpecker. New rhythms are coming your way and coming into your life. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. And then I got the Archangel Azrael, who's about endings and beginnings. And let's say the ending is loneliness and the beginning is a wonderful new relationship for you. So I'm hoping that's helpful to you.
I
Very
couldn't have said
positive,
it
good.
any better. Joan nailed it. Totally nailed it. So Tiffany, yeah,
Sounds like
work
a dream she had and very positive.
work
So
on
good.
yourself. Yeah. Yeah. So we
Oh,
both
when you said those words, I got chills. So
yeah, work on
that's,
yourself, and the more you work on yourself, the more you're going to attract this guy. So,
then you have to haul them over here, at least bring a
I
picture because
know.
we
Yeah,
want to
bring a
see.
picture.
We're going to be like those old aunties going, oh, look
Right.
at you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We wish you
Wonderful. Good
the
luck,
very, very
Tiffany.
best.
Yeah. Have
All right.
confidence in yourself. There we go.
That was fun. And here's our last question from Michelle F.
Yeah.
Do my
All this.
husband, Stephen's guide, have a message for him? He has cancer and could use their support and guidance. Oh, honey, I am so sorry for both of you. And that's a sound that Thayer can't turn off. So it's
Yeah,
not
I'm sorry about that.
that's
Sorry
okay, just
about
in
that.
case people
Yeah,
haven't
no,
heard. Okay.
I don't know how to turn that off.
All right. This is for Michelle and Stephen.
I'm hearing pray. And I don't, it's not the traditional type of prayer, but gatherings of supportive, positive energy. It could be meditation, it could be traditional prayer, gathering of family, combining energies, positive energies, um, working with the breath, working with the energy around your husband and around you because you need some support at this time, and to ask people to pray for you, to send healing, positive energy. I don't know if you have a community that does this, or there's a church or Buddhist monks or something around that you could ask for extra support. And that if you ask every day for extra support for your husband and yourself, that this is an energy that is going to, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is an energy that's moving through the both of you. And the more support and love, and I'm going to say source energy that you can move in to your environment and into your heart of acceptance, of love, of moving through it, the easier all of this energy is going to move through and settle. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm just feeling just a lot of love surrounding you and your husband and how important that is, and to really move into it as much as you can. Uh, and breathe, move forward, and embrace what is at the moment.
Okay.
And it's not
Oh,
easy. I'm not saying that's easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really so sorry that this is a challenge you two are going together, going through. When I tuned in, the very first thing I saw was an angel, big white angel with white wings, and carrying a baguette, a French, loaf of French bread, fresh out of the oven. And I wasn't, so it's bread, and bread on the waters, bread, bread, bread. What's all, staff of life, all these things. But I think it is for him to be open to people giving things to him. Uh, my husband, for 25 years, baked bread every day. I never had any of it because I've got celiac disease. And he'd make one small loaf for himself and then another one, and we'd give it away to the neighbors. And um, and that brought him great joy and built community. So part of this is a message to say, be accepting of when people want to help. And because right away, if people are, there'll be people who say, oh, what can I do? What can I do? Have a list of practical things like, could you help break the leaves? Or because people don't know what to say or what to do. Or maybe could you pick up some bread or whatever it is, but kind of have in the back of your mind an answer to that question, because people will be asking, feeling helpless and wanting to help. And maybe it is pray for us, and that's a very important thing too. Um, and then it's the ability to receive, because letting people give to you is a blessing to them as well as to you. And then there was something about the second message about that was the aroma. If there's some sort of maybe you try making some bread or having an aroma in the house. Maybe it's like essential oils, aromatherapy. If there is something that uh, would be healing and helpful just to bring up the vibe in the house, um, try that. And then I'm seeing you walking together hand in hand. That this is one of those tests of, roles are changing, things that you used to do you can't do anymore. It's all just very different. But you're going to stay solid through this. Yes, I see the two hands together and then kind of a heart in the two lumps of the heart in between your shoulders. That this is going to bring you together in new and deeper ways that you really wish you never had to explore, but it's going to. It's going to make you both stronger and appreciate each other in different ways. When I finally did ask through the pendulum and got, are they going to get through this? And it said yes. So this is it's like one of those tunnels you go through. It's a really testing time, but it's also, it's in that crucible where you learn the most lessons, and it's the opportunity for growth is the deepest, but it's also the hardest to go through. I wish I had a little bit more clarity other than bread. Um, okay, they're saying it's the day-to-day things, the holiness of the day-to-day of doing the laundry and helping him put on his shoes or all that stuff. It's all of those experiences, however, whatever stage you're all in, the daily tasks that you do to get yourself and to get him through this is part of the holiness of life. And each one of those, even though they can feel burdensome or trivial or whatever, uh, that's part of the journey. And every breath is a gift. It's a one more breath, one more second that you're together right now. So it's really a hard thing to say at this time, but to have a concept of the holiness of this journey for both of you together, and know that um, all your angels and guides are with you and supporting you. I'm seeing you both in this bubble of light, and they're not promising you a rose garden, but I'm just seeing them like kind of like the hamster ball. They're kind of moving you forward through this and gently. You're not going through this alone, my dear.
I get soul contract. This is some sort of agreement that you both had. Um, and I'm hearing grace. Same thing, grace and love. Whoops.
If anyone asks what I need, I let them know prayers and positivity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And she says, if anybody asks what I need, I let them know prayers and positivity. You
Right.
said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So you're totally on the right track because we both got the same thing that you're
Yeah.
asking for. Um,
And we are all sending you love. This is
yeah. Yeah.
quite a journey, but you've got it in you. You guys can do it.
Yeah.
And with that, I think that is
We
the end
are.
of our show. And I
Yeah.
want to thank you so much, Thayer. Are you going to be on anybody else's show anytime soon
No,
coming up?
no, I've just been floating. I'm trying to get my practice local. I'm trying to do real people here, which is a little bit more challenging than I thought.
Yeah,
Um, to really practice on people I don't know and people that are in front of me. So, but we'll see if we'll can come back on your show.
you bet.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Michelle is saying, yes, he isn't able to do much now, and we're
Yeah.
used to being independent. So getting used to accepting help and getting used to doing things he did. Yeah. Um,
Great.
and don't be too afraid to ask others for physical or that
Help.
kind of help
Yeah.
too, but I couldn't do very much of that myself. We appreciate you too. And we're sending you prayers your way. Oh, Yes. God
Let
bless
the
you, my
whole
dear.
process move through without a lot of resistance. I think that's
Mm.
yeah, good luck, Michelle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love to you both, and love to you all.
Yeah.
And with
Thanks for
with
your
that,
questions. Yeah. It's good to see
definitely.
everybody.
And let's
Yeah.
see, today is Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll be with Allie on Meeting with the Mediums. And then on, let's see, and then on Friday, I will be on Jean's channel with Sun Psychic Jean and Gerald of Tarot Stash and Terry, Pure Visionary Psychic. Yes, Tarot Stash. He's so funny. And so if
Yeah.
anybody has some time,
Yeah.
we'd love to see you there too.
That
Love you
those
very
guys are
much.
great.
Thanks
Be
everybody
well,
for coming.
everyone. Okay.
Bye now.